There is a specific, mathematical date in your future where you become professionally obsolete. Not to your boss, but to your own bank account. There is a tipping point where the money you make while sleeping actually exceeds the money you can physically save while awake. For most people, this concept feels like a scam. But for those who understand the math of the crossover, it is the exact moment you stop chasing retirement and start owning your time. According to 2025 data, most Americans are missing this window entirely because they are focusing on the wrong variable. Today, we are breaking down the exact numbers that show when your portfolio officially becomes a more productive employee than you are, and how to engineer your life to hit that number decades early. Let's be honest about what saving for retirement feels like in the beginning. You've been told the standard advice: save 15%, put it in a 401k, and wait. So, you do it. You see that money leaving your account every 2 weeks. You check your balance, and honestly, it's demoralizing. It feels like you are trying to cross the Atlantic Ocean in a rowboat. You are putting in maximum physical effort, the overtime, the stress, the budgeting, but you are moving inches at a time. This is the mid-career slump. You are 10 years into the workforce. You've been responsible, yet your investment returns look like a rounding error compared to your contributions. It feels futile because, right now, you are the only engine. But here's the secret financial planners rarely articulate. The goal isn't to row harder. The goal is to build a sail. Eventually, you swap manpower for wind power. There is a mathematical shift where the physics of your portfolio change, and you switch from pulling the money forward to simply steering the ship. Before we get to the solution, we have to look at the scoreboard. And unfortunately, the scoreboard is misleading. If you read the headlines from Vanguard regarding their 2025 data, you might feel decent. They'll tell you the average 401k balance is sitting around $148,153. If you're sitting on $150K, you think you're winning. But average is a statistical lie designed to make the economy look stable. The average is inflated by the top 1% of super savers and executives with massive accounts. The real number you need to look at is the median. The median 401k balance in America is only $38,176. That is the reality gap. Most people are operating on a razor-thin margin. And the irony is tragic. The people with the highest balances are in the 55 to 64 age bracket, averaging about $271,000. They finally have the money, but they have zero time wealth. They spent 40 years rowing the boat only to catch the wind when they were already at the dock. We need to invert this. We need to get the math working in your 30s, not your 60s. To understand why this is so hard, you have to understand that you are a participant in a failed experiment. 40 years ago, the risk was on the company, pensions. Today, the risk is on you, 401ks. The financial industry shifted the burden of survival onto your shoulders, but they kept teaching you the old rules. They taught you to focus on the contribution, save more, cut lattes, budget harder. But the wealthy don't focus on the contribution. They focus on the duplication. The problem isn't just inflation. It's the labor trap. You believe that you are the hero of your financial story. You think your hard work is what will make you rich. Mathematically, that is false. Your labor has a ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day. Your portfolio, however, doesn't need to sleep, doesn't take lunch breaks, and doesn't burn out. You don't need to work harder. You need to hire a replacement. So what is the crossover point? I want you to think of your portfolio as a financial doppelganger. You are building a digital version of yourself that goes to work every day so you don't have to. In the beginning, your doppelganger is a baby. It contributes nothing. You have to feed it cash constantly. But eventually, it grows up and gets a job. The crossover is the specific dollar amount where your doppelganger's salary matches your savings potential. Let's look at the 2025 numbers to find that exact point. For 2025, the 401k contribution limit is $23,500. For most people, maxing that out requires immense discipline. That is your maximum manpower. Now let's look at the horsepower. If you get a standard 7% inflation-adjusted return, how much money do you need invested to generate $23,500 in passive growth? The number is roughly $335,000. This is the magic number. If you have $335,000 in the market, a 7% year earns you roughly $23,450. Do you see what just happened? At $335,000, your money just matched your maximum possible effort. If you bust your back, work overtime, and stress yourself out to max your 401k, you add $23,500. Your portfolio, sitting there doing absolutely nothing, also added $23,500. You are now 50-50 partners. Before this point, you were the servant carrying the account. After this point, you are the partner managing the growth. Let's push it further. Let's say you hit $500,000. A 7% return is $35,000. Now, your doppelganger is earning significantly more than the IRS even allows you to save. Your labor is no longer the primary driver of your wealth. The entire financial system is designed to keep you on the treadmill until age 67. It relies on you feeling financially insecure enough to keep working, but secure enough to keep spending. The way out isn't to win the lottery. It's to understand the math of the crossover. If you want to dive deeper into the tools and calculations that make this possible, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We break down the math of freedom every single week, and you don't want to miss the next blueprint. Remember, the goal isn't to have the biggest number on the screen when you die. The goal is to be the person who stopped worrying about money at age 35 because they looked at the math, realized their financial doppelganger was doing the work, and decided to finally enjoy the ride. Stop focusing on the contribution. Start racing toward the crossover. Because once you cross that line, you aren't working for your money anymore. Your money is working for you.